On President Trump's first day in office, he announced a national energy emergency to address the need to provide more reliable and affordable power for Americans. Since then, President Trump has reversed major U.S. policies on energy and environmental regulations. He also ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to identify and remove all state climate change laws and policies that the Trump administration deems unconstitutional. In February, the president signed an executive order establishing the National Energy Dominance Council to help increase U.S. energy and fossil fuel production.
Well, we have more oil and gas than anybody else in the world. We're going to really benefit our taxpayers, and we're going to benefit our country. This is a very big bill. This is really going to be energy dominant. We're going to be energy dominant like nobody else.
For more, let's bring in David Schechter, CBS News' national environmental correspondent. So, David, when it comes to the environment, there's tension between doing more to protect natural resources and doing less to cut out red tape that businesses face. Where are we?
Well, we've seen a complete 180 before President Trump arrived. President Biden had really taken the United States to a leadership role on climate change policy and regulations, investing in green energy, investing in electric vehicles, reducing pollution. And now we have basically the exact opposite. President Trump has removed regulation, removing enforcement, making it easier to drill for oil, making it easier to burn coal, easier to pollute, all kinds of things. And so the balance that you just talked about there has tipped from enforcing the environment and making the environment as clean as possible to really very pro-business, let's remove all barriers and all regulation.
And as we mentioned, the president declared a national emergency, an energy emergency on his first day in office. What does that mean, and how have we seen that play out?
I think it's an interesting look at the sort of the playbook of the administration that was the justification they've used for so many of the changes that they have implemented. But basically, the emphasis is let's get away from renewable energy and let's make our way towards fossil fuels and coal and things like that. There's an understanding in the administration that there's going to be a need for AI and data centers, and we're going to need energy for that. And so this energy emergency has been a way to say, hey, it might have taken a year or years to get a project permitted before, a gas plant or something like that. And now they're saying they can get that down to a month. And that's just a clearing away of regulation and making it very easy under this guise of this emergency to do those things.
What are the impacts of the layoffs that we've seen in the firings at the EPA and NOAA?
Well, just yesterday, they've terminated 400 people that create something called the National Climate Assessment, which is mandated by Congress, a report every maybe 4 or 5 years about the state of climate change in the country. We know the science of climate change. It continues to evolve, but we know that that's happening, and another report isn't going to make that any more clear. But what you lose in something like that, which is top of mind, just happened, is how to adapt. This report says, in Missouri, this is going to be the impact on milking cows. And this in California, here's how it's going to impact transportation. And then suggestions and ways for local leaders to sort of find ways to adapt and deal with climate change. That is gone and is just really further evidence of the administration's abandoning climate science and moving towards deregulation.
And that is just one example. All right, David Schechter, thank you.